Good morning. So I want to talk about nature versus nurture. And this is something that has come up to with me for years now at different places in my life and through different conversations that I've had and different thoughts that I've had also with, raising my children or between me and my siblings and noticing that we were raised in the exact same household, but we're all so much different than one another, different and the same, right? We're brought up with the same, um, what would you call it? Like the same values and the same way of being and the same circumstances, basically, within the same house, with the same parents, with the same means. And we are all turned out so much different, and we've all taken completely different life paths. Um, and so there's a lot of retrospect. You can look at, is that a word? Yeah, there's a lot of you can look at that, and you can also I can also see within my children. Yeah, I have a 26-year-old, a 25-year-old girl. I have three boys and a girl. So a 26-year-old boy, a 25-year-old girl, and a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old boys. And they're all so different, but they were all raised under the same roof. They were all raised with the same parents. Um, and so it's really interesting to see. And so these questions have come up to me so many different times, and I'm sitting here and I'm contemplating, and it seems like today is 11:11, and just now, a few minutes ago, it was 11:11 o'clock in the morning at 11:11, and so I just feel like today, before I even realized that it's 11:11 this morning, I woke up and it feels like the portals are just open. It seems like there's just download after download. I've been sitting and just writing and writing and writing. Um, but a new way of looking at it has really come down to me, and really, my thoughts on this and the things that I have compiled or have realized until now is that really I feel like it is more nature than nurture. Nurture does have to do with it, but when you are born a pure potential. You were born pure. There is a DNA makeup there of pure potential, of things that you are more, um, what is the word? Accessible? No, accessible. There's a word there that I'm missing. But you are more prone to certain ways of behavior, certain ways of being, and then you're formed by your parents' goodwills, by school, by strangers. That's why in DNA, when we are born to our parents are close to us in DNA. They pass on their own nature to us, and that is why our parents are the people that are um, like the best people to be raising us. And in nature, if we were back in tribes or like the chimpanzees, or you are brought up and nurtured by your parent. And nowadays we go to school and we're brought up by complete strangers that might have a complete different, complex way of being that are raising us and forming our belief systems. Today, in any case, we're so far away from nature and from our own pure nature that regardless of that is irrelevant. Even our own parents are so far away from their nature in the majority of times that it is irrelevant in any case. Looking at it that way. But what a thought that I'm having while I'm sitting here is that when we go through the spiritual awakening, we're shedding all of these conformities that we were brought up to believe, the ways that we need to be, the ways that we are, and we are brought back to our pure nature. So in any case, the way that we are meant to be is coming into realization through the spiritual awakening as we remove all of these layers of conformity, all of these layers of what we were taught to be like, all of the constraints, all of the archetypes that we are, that we are transcending, the ego. We are transcending all of these structures of behavior, and we're coming back to our pure source nature. So when you release all of the nurture, right, and some of us, and many of us, most of humanity will not transcend their nurture. So that means that they do have their nature makeup, their DNA, natural way of being, and they also have the part of it that is nurture, and those two things combined is what makes their personality and how they have conformed to be. I still think that within that, maybe 70% is nature and 30% is conformity is a nurture, because you can see many, many children, however they're brought up, they still have their own nature and their own way of being, and they will outgrow their nurture and become into their own person. So there is the nurture part in there, but and I would, be happy to hear any thoughts on this or any downloads on this. But the nature is the what makes up the majority of it. And as we transcend, and during the spiritual awakening, as we transcend our ego and we transcend all of these conformities, because all of the structures of behavior sit under the ego. The ego is like the umbrella, is the container of these, right? So as we rise above our ego, we come into our true nature. So we can transcend the nurture and come into our true nature, and then you can see that in that way nature is what is the, your pure potential, your pure meaning of who you are and what you have come here to bring into the world. When you come over your ego, then you are sitting in your pure nature, you are sitting in your pure, what you were meant to be doing as a being. You come into your soul level, then it is pure nature. Um, so that is what is coming through to me this morning in the best words that I could find for it. So if you connect, you can get it. So I thank you for watching. I appreciate it.